Hello, my name is Stephanie Peterson and I created this Glogster to captivate the interest of my students. This glog serves to engage students and teach important concepts to emergent readers. In my glog, I use a thematic approach that focuses on the five senses: hear, see, touch, taste, and smell. This thematic approach makes my unit both cross-curricular and provides authentic, real-world learning experiences that captures the students' attention. As an educator, it is vital to understand the students and their interests in order for them to be able to make connections. With this being said, I was able to be creative and innovative while developing all of the tasks that encompass my glog. The first thing provided on my glog is a related literature page. This is found right here, and if you click here, it takes you straight to the related literature page. This page is where I offer suggestions for books that work well with this theme. On this page, you can find an outline of books to be made available to the students during this lesson unit. As you can see, there is a wide variety of books, all of which on different reading levels. This is so that the books meet the needs of the students, as well as captivate their interest so that they can enjoy what they are reading. Some of the books on this page focus on the individual senses, such as sight and touch. You can see that here with Too Loud Lily and Big Smelly Bear. On the other hand, other books focus on all of the senses, such as the book My Five Senses by Aliki, which is this book in the middle. For each book on this page, I have provided pictures of the cover, the author, the reading level, and a short summary of what the book is about. And then if you go back to the home page, the next thing on my blog is the guided reading, which is found right here. Guided reading is where the children are the ones doing the actual reading, but the teachers continue to provide support. This is done in small groups that meet with the teacher to read a book that is at their specific instructional level. The book is introduced by the teacher and they guide the students into reading the book. As the students continue to read, the teacher is supervising. This plan directly relates to my five senses thematic unit and is split into 5 stages. It allows me to be creative while creating a purpose for reading and focuses on one book from my related literature page. This book is from the Curious George series and is called Curious George Discovers the Senses. Although the book does not directly explain what the 5 senses are and how they work, it is used as a great tool to introduce them. In my guided reading plan, I start by preparing the students for reading by building prior knowledge, making predictions, discussing vocabulary, and setting a purpose for reading. The students then read the story in small groups and we respond to the text together. This plan is cross-curricular, so it allows all students to find something that interests them. We end the guided reading by reviewing and rereading the story. We can then apply the literature across the curriculum. If you go back to the 5 Senses homepage, the next thing you'll find on my Glogster is the shared reading. Shared reading is where the teacher reads a book aloud, often a big book, as a group of children follow along in the text. I chose the book Gordy Gorilla and His 5 Senses, which can also be found on my related literature page. This book fits the children's interest level, but is not too difficult for them to read on their own. After we have read the book several times, it is to be used to teach phonics, high-frequency words, and other literacy concepts. Children can also read small versions of the book independently or with partners and use the text pattern or structure for writing activities. Gordy Gorilla is a good book for shared reading because it is predictable. It is a book that has rhyme, repetition, and patterns. This enables young children to read them more easily. After listening to the text several times, they are now able to remember enough of it to read along with the teacher. Shared reading allows the students to actively participate in reading, learn how to predict how a story will progress, understand that illustrations can help with meaning, increase new vocabulary, discover reading strategies, and most importantly, acquire literacy abilities. Some of these literacy abilities included in my shared reading plan are concepts of print, alphabet knowledge, phonological awareness, phoneme awareness, phonics, sight words, and analogical word recognition. This means that the students will be able to understand the concepts of printed words, recognize letters and sounds in the context of words in the story, increase sight word development, and phonics. The list goes on to include skills they learn during rereading. Shared reading coincides with and supports the concept of developmental readiness and emergent literacy. On the shared reading plan, you can find a short introduction of the book Gordy Gorilla and His Five Senses, and you can also find a standard which relates to each of the activities that helps the students learn their literacy abilities. The first day is alphabet knowledge. The second is phonological/phonemic awareness. The third, sight words. The fourth is analogizing words. And the fifth is phonics. That completes the shared reading plan. If you go back to the 5 Senses Glogster, the last thing you'll find is the ebook. When you click here, it takes you straight to an ebook that I created on mystorybook.com. I created this book as a way to further develop students' concepts of the 5 senses. I used many pictures to engage and help the students understand. I used techniques such as repetition, rhyming, and predictability to help and promote fluency. Each page has a rhyming word, and it has lots of repetitions, such as the sentence, "What's that smell?" On every page you can find the little girl, Belle, and the book becomes very predictable. At the end of the book, you will find a short summary of what the book is about, just as if you were reading a real book in class. Altogether, this Glogster is created to encourage emergent literacy. Emergent literacy is the perspective on how children learn to read and write. I created this glog with the intentions of accessing all levels of Gardner's multiple intelligences through ways that focus on students' strengths and encouraging the importance of being a good reader. Thank you for listening.